starting off this unit, which is called proportionality, with ratios. So ratio is a comparison of two things, of two quantities. And you can write ratios in a fraction form, but they're not the same because fractions only represent one part out of a total. Ratios can be written in a few different ways. So I put an image at the very, very top where you have these 6 circles. So I'm going to draw it on my paper. So if you're writing down your notes, do your 6 circles to start with. So you've got 6 circles, and then you have these 3 diamonds as best as possible. Okay. All right. So fractions and ratios are not the same. Fractions, remember, are only a part, and they represent just one number. Ratios compare two different things. So if we wanted to express this one ratio in 3 different ways, one way is in written form. So if we were to write it like circles, 2 diamonds. And if I wanted to use the numbers, then I would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to 3, which I could even simplify to 2 to 1. So this is all the same thing with the written form. The second way is odds notation. Odds notation is when you have a colon. So it would be circles, colon, diamonds, or 6 colon 3, or 2 colon 1. It still means 2 to 1, 6 to 3, circles to diamonds. And then the last way is fractional notation. So you would put it as a fraction. So whatever number you have first, that's the numerator. So it would be 6 over 3 or 2 over 1. And you leave these improper. Don't ever change them into mixed numbers, even though they're improper. And, we just got finished changing impropers to mixed. Leave them as they are. So in your document, you can either type in circles, 2 diamonds, or use the numbers if you want to, or you could just use the word 2. I want you to put in whatever you think is going to work best for you. I'm just going to leave it like that. 6 to 1. Odds notation, I'm going to do 2 colon 1. And then the fractional notation is where I'm going to change it to where you guys can actually insert a fraction there. So I'll change that for you guys. Okay, now the second part is ratios can compare quantities in three different ways. So the first way that I showed you guys, this is a part-to-part ratio because we have circles is a part and diamonds is a part. So that's a part-to-part ratio. So in your document, part-to-part ratio. Now, a part to whole ratio would be when you're comparing like circles to total shapes or diamonds to total shapes. So if I wanted to compare the circles to everything, then I would have circles to total or circles to whole. So there are 6, 2. Well, if I have 6 here and then another 3, so 6 plus 3 is 9. And then you can simplify it. So 6 to 9, if you write it as a fraction, you can divide by 3. And then 3 can go into 6 2 times, 3 can go into 9 3 times. So in your part to whole, you can either have 6 to 9 or you can have 2 to 3. Usually, if we want you to simplify, we'll state it, state the ratio in simplified form. So I'm going to put that right here. And remember, you can write it with a colon, with the word 2, or in fraction form. Any of those 3 ways is correct. And then the last way to compare quantities with ratios is where you take the total and you compare it to the part. So this first one was part. I'm going to even write that down. Part to whole here. And then the last one is where you take the total or whole and compare it to just a part. So we've already done that for circles to total. Let's do total shapes 2 diamonds this time. And whatever is listed first, that has to be your numerator or the first number in your ratio. If you switch the numbers around, it will be incorrect that way. So the total we already know is 9, but the diamonds is different. So diamonds, there are 3. So it'd be 9 to 3. So I'm going to put it as a fraction, and then I want to simplify it. So 9 divided by 3 and 3 divided by 3. So the ratio here is 3 to 1. For every 3 shapes, there is 1 diamond. Like over here, for every 2 circles, there are 3 shapes. So I'm going to edit the document, and I'm going to put 3 to 1. So hopefully this seems pretty easy. The next page is where you're going to do your practice. So if you want to do the practice first and then start the video so you could check your work, that sounds fine to me.